The reason you're stuck is because you're blocking your own fucking flow. And so what you have to understand is that you are the flow of life. Life is a river, and you're going to be the stream of life, of which the life you exist within unfolds and unveils within your sight. Now you have to understand that if you're blocking your own flow, well, this is going to create distortion and problems. And so what you have to understand is that you are the source of your reality, and your reality is a fucking reflection of you. And so reality is a fucking mirror. And so whatever you experience on the daily is a reflection of you. And so once you solve your problems mentally, you can actually now envelop and develop into the character to actually solve them in the world. And so everything begins within you. And so the problems you have in your life are existing within you and protruding from within you into the outer universe. And so what the fuck you need to understand is that if you do not solve your problems by realizing you are the problem, you are going to cascade and suffer in the infinite abyss of inevitable failure as you waste the fucking life that you get once. And so the first thing we need to do is we need to take accountability for that bitch in the fucking mirror. And then when you take accountability for that pussy bitch in the fucking mirror, you can actually now do some shit to change it, to fix some shit. The moment you confront yourself, you're no longer blaming the world for all your fucking problems. You're no longer giving the world the power of you, because you're projecting your power, which is the ability to solve the problem, onto the world. And so now you perform as if you can't solve your fucking problem, but what you're doing is just handing the accountability of your life to something outside of you, externally sourcing your existence to pretend as if you're not the one accountable for that shit ass existence. And so what you have to understand is the moment you can take accountability, the problems, you now have the power to solve them. So instead of externally sourcing your power, you now induce the power into your consciousness to do some shit to change. And so it begins with fucking accountability and taking responsibility for that bit. And if you can't do that shit, you will suffer in the inadequacy and reverberate it and postulate it and emanate it into the one existence you get. And so what we have to understand is that if you are the source of your reality, well, you have to understand that you could create it into a higher quality experience. You have to understand that life is really just a continuous process of unveiling higher qualities of existence. And if you're suffering in a low quality existence, well, if you're externally sourcing your power onto other people, pretending you can't solve your fucking problems, always making a fucking excuse to not solve the fucking problem, always gotta deflect that pussy, you have to understand that you will suffer in the consequence. And so you have to truly understand that you need to stop fucking outsourcing your problems. And the moment you stop doing that, you stop blocking your own flow. Instead of this and that being the problem is a direct reflection of you. Now you have the power to change and to construct and to better some shit. And so most of you guys will go your entire existence floundering through life because you don't want to look in the fucking mirror and say that's because of me. The moment you say that's because of me, you now have the power to say, okay, if this is because of me, what the fuck in me is causing this to be an effect in my reality, which is hindering the quality of my existential experience while time slowly decreases in the one life I get. Then you realize that your life is a byproduct of you, and as long as you continue to externally source the problems that you have onto whatever the fuck you've been through, onto whatever the fuck you do, well, you're going to remain inferior to whatever you project the power onto. Because the moment you give and externally source your power, well, now you can't solve your problems because it's not your fault that you're a fucking floundering bitch. It's her fault, his fault, and this happened and that happened, and so now I'm too pussy to actually fix my fucking life. You have to understand that you either have PTSD, which is a permanently bitch syndrome, or you have PTG, you fucking personally grow because of what the fuck you experience. You have to understand that negativity is infinite fuel. And as long as you continue to outsource your power and blame the world instead of yourself, you will lose your power and you will waste your fuel reacting to life as if it's the causation, but the cause is you, and the effect is a byproduct of who you've become through time. And so you have to understand that if you continue to outsource your problems, you're never going to be fucking solved. And so the first thing to do is retrieve and redeem yourself from all the power you lost. All the people you've blamed for all your problems in your life, look in the fucking mirror and realize it was you, not them. The moment you retrieve your power, now look at the cause within yourself and reflect on what's causing that effect within you. You'll realize that maybe the way you act during this moment sabotaged yourself. You are in a constant state of self-sabotage. And as long as you continue to go through life hindering your quality of experience, you will flounder and cascade in the abyss, wishing and hoping that something could solve your problem, but the only thing that can solve the problem that you have is the fucking reflection in the mirror. So go look in that shit and tell yourself that it's my fault. I take accountability and do it as an empowering thing. Most of you guys are quick to bash yourself. You don't understand that your internal dialogue is creating your fucking reality. Every time you beat yourself down, instead of empowering yourself, every time you sit there and bash yourself, you have to understand that you could call yourself a bitch when you're a fucking bitch. But if that bitch isn't pushing you to be more of something more powerful, well, you're just bashing yourself, so it's not really fucking helpful, is it? It's actually very insidious and very evil of you to do that to yourself. Call yourself a bitch and then prove yourself why you're not a bitch. Don't just sit there in this apathetic state of consciousness being a deleterious, pathetic piece of shit. If you fucked up, well, say you're a bitch. But don't just sit there, look in the mirror, and wish you were someone else outsourcing your problems on your ego when you have to look through it and see what's going on within you. You have to understand that the moment your mental state is organized, no matter what the fuck life presents to you, you can overcome that and you can move through life and maneuver in a grounded state, in a powerful state of going where the fuck you want to go. If you always outsource your problems, you're no longer grounded. You are reacting to the things you believe hold power over you. The moment you outsource your problems to your circumstance is now the wielder of power. No longer you. You are confined within the circumstance. You have now created a circumference for you to exist within, and it's impossible for you to escape because it's your circumstance's fault, not you. And so now you are stuck in that circumstance when all you have to do is look in the mirror and understand that if maybe you tweaked a few things about that shit-ass character, you would elevate beyond your current circumstance and you would actually proliferate in existential quality instead of deteriorate through fucking space and time. And so the best thing to do is stop outsourcing your fucking problems, to look in the mirror and say, fuck, maybe I am the cause to this effect, but since I am the power and I am the cause, I can now change and tweak some shit about myself to actually rid the problems that are protruding from within me into the outer experience. And realize that you only experience life once. And so the way you maneuver through space and time is a reflection of your self-worth. The people who believe they're worth more than what the fuck they have, they're going to wake up every day and say, okay, if I'm the power, well, if I do this, that, and this, if I create a character who is eminent in quality, who can wake up, hit the 3 a.m. workout, hit the fucking macros, hit the workout, and then use this high voltage energy that one has cultivated throughout the habits and then induce this into their outer experience in all endeavors. We have to understand that it's not just a wake up time. It's not just a macro count. It's not just a workout. When you do these habits, they're reflecting internal qualities within you that is going to reflect in the way you maneuver through space and time. And so most of you guys are quick to deflect the fact you're fat as fuck. What the fuck does that reflect about your character? We now realize you're a lazy trash piece of shit, and your body is a reflection of that. What the fuck does addiction reflect about your character? It means you're weak and you need a crutch to ground with because you are not grounded in yourself. And so what we have to understand is everything you do, every endeavor has a internal quality and it's reflecting into your existence. And so the moment you can quit the vices and rid all the negative qualities from continuously growing and then protruding out as this shitty character, as you divulge your mediocrity into the universe, you can actually now look in the mirror, quit the vices, and pick up the fucking habits that is going to set you on a path that's going to reflect a character with discipline, a character with resilience, fortitude. You're now grounded in the habits that reflect a higher quality character. And so the quality of your character is determined by the quality of your habits, and your habits is simply the standards you hold yourself to. And so when you hold yourself to low standards, well, you're going to be a low quality piece of shit. But the moment you wake up and say, fuck, I'm going to hit this 3 a.m. wake up, not because I want to wake up at 3 a.m., but because if I wake up at 3 a.m., I'm demonstrating discipline. When you're tired as fuck and you want to go back to bed, but you wake the fuck up, you say, fuck, it's time to go to the gym, it's early as fuck, time to get this workout in. Or you wake up and you instantly start the day with a win. You pick up the books, right? You drink your coffee, you're reading a book, you instantly start the day with a win. This is going to compound through time. The same way you eat a snack every fucking day and compound and accumulate into this fat garbage bitch is the same way you will grow in character when you hit the everyday wake up, the everyday workout, the everyday macro count. You will evolve into a higher quality character because you put your time and energy into higher quality habits, which is a reflection of your standards. And so the goal of the videos is not to fucking motivate you, is not to fucking change you, but to simply cast a reflection onto the deflection of yourself. You have committed yourself to avoiding the unavoidable, which is diverged and unified and synced with your consciousness the moment you look in the mirror, as the external stimuli that reflects in the mirror occupies the space in your brain, reflecting that garbage piece of shit. You have to understand that you are the personification of the qualities of your character. You develop the right character, you end up on the right trajectory. You develop a shit character, well, you're going to be someplace you don't want to be. And so the best thing to do is pick up the habits that actually evolve you instead of decay you through time, and to look in the fucking mirror, stop outsourcing your fucking bullshit, and say that you are the causation of your reality in every quality that inhabits your brain, in your fucking electricity, in your neurons, every neurological pathway that deviates you to a behavioral pattern that is lowering and hindering your existential experience. Well, you have to understand that that is you. And you blaming someone else is just casting the power and deflecting the fact it's you. You're avoiding the unavoidable because what you're avoiding will reflect. It's that fucking simple.